Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum Husna. Ujugu. Thank you auntie. Assalamu alaikum auntie. कैसी हैं आप? ठीक ठाक, fit fat, ज़बरदस्त. Okay, good. Okay, now today I'm going to talk to you about the thing you were having trouble with. 4 reasons for a word to be light. Okay, this is a major lesson. It's not a minor lesson. Okay, so you're going to have to remember this from here on out. Every time you come across an ism in the Quran that is light, you can only justify that for 4 reasons. There's only 4 possible explanations for why that guy is light. Okay? Now, the first, I'm going to list all 4 reasons in order of what you're familiar with. Okay? The first reason is something is partly flexible.
Yeah.
So if you see a word like Makkah, and you know it's light because it's, partly flexible, right? And just as a quick review of that, the only words that are non-Arab, the places are non-Arabs, right? That's what I originally taught you. Places are partly flexible and non-Arabs are partly flexible. But there's actually more categories. There's some plurals that are partly flexible. You just learn them as you come, but there are some plurals. But for now, what you need to just make a mental note of is partly flexible will be places, non-Arabs, unless how many letters you remember?
3?
Yes, unless 3 letters. And then some certain plurals. And certain adjectives. But we'll do that later, okay? That's all you need to know. It's here. And certain plurals, what that means is sometimes, when I tell you a plural of a word, I won't put a tanween on it, okay? So the plural of masjid, masjidun, the plural of masjid is masajidu. Masajidu. You don't say masajidun.
Okay.
So now when me as a teacher, when you hear me say masajidu, you know what you're already thinking? Abba didn't put a tanween on it because Abba knows that word is partly flexible.
Partly flexible, okay.
Not all plurals are partly flexible. Like, kitab is singular, kutubun is plural.
Plural.
It's got a tanween on it, no problem. But sometimes you'll hear me say a plural and it won't have a tanween on it.
Okay.
On purpose, I'll take it off. Okay? And when that happens, why am I doing that? Because that plural is partly flexible. So masajid will be masajidu, masajida, masajida. Like makkatu, makkata, makkata. You with me? Okay? So similarly, there are certain adjectives like ahsan or akbar or afdal, like comparative adjectives. In Arabic, they're all partly flexible. So, for example, we say Allahu Akbar in the adhan. We don't say Allahu Akbarun. You heard the adhan many times. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. There's a ru, not a run. Right? Because comparatives like akbar and afdal and ahmad and those words, they are partly flexible. So the rafa is akbaru, the nasab is akbara, and the jar is also akbara. Okay? We'll learn more about that inshallah when we get into i'rab itself. Now, so that's partly flexible. That's one reason for a word to be light. Is that going to stay in your head?
Yes.
Okay. Now the second reason for a word to be light is if it's a mudaf. Simple.
Okay.
A mudaf is supposed to have 2 conditions. Do you recall?
Light and no flam.
Light and no iflam. So light is one of the conditions. So the second and probably even the most popular, I'll put a star next to this one because this is the most popular reason in the Quran why a word is light. When you see a light ism, then you should think maybe there's a mudaf ilayh after it.
Okay.
Okay, especially light no alif lam. That's a big one. Okay. Now the third one. The one being called.
Okay.
What's the Arabic word for calling someone? Ya.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, what's the word for boy?
Walad.
So when I say ya walad, I say ya waladu. I cannot say ya waladun.
Okay.
When you call someone with a ya, you have to make the word what? Light.
Light. Okay.
You have to make it light. If I'm calling Allah, if I call Allah with His name Rahim, how would I call Him?
Ya Rahim.
Put a haraka.
Ya Rahim.
That's correct. Ya Rahimu. If somebody calls me in class, Ya Ustadu. Ya Ustadu. Just Ustad. You cannot say Ustadun. So the one being called has to be light.
Light. Okay.
Got it? Okay. Now, there's the last one. The last one is kind of tough, so we're going to take a little bit of time to understand it. It's called La Nafiyatun للجنس. Say that for me. لا نافية للجنس.
لا نافية للجنس.
لا نافية للجنس is a term you'll have to remember. It's an important term. It means absolute, or let's not use absolute. Let's use categorical negation. That's a big word too. Categorical negation. Categorical negation means absolutely not. It's a very strong way of saying no in the Arabic language. That's called لا نافية للجنس. Say that again.
لا نافية للجنس.
Okay, now, when somebody takes shahada, they say لا إله إلا الله. Okay, you notice the word ilaha is light?
Yes.
You notice that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the question arises, why is it light? Well, the first possibility for a word to be light is maybe it's a partly flexible word.
Mm-hmm.
Ilaha is not. The second possibility is maybe it's a mudaf. It is not, because illa is a harf.
Yeah.
A mudaf has to have an ism after it, a mudaf ilayh. The third possibility of ilah to be light is maybe it's the one being called. It's not, because that's for ya.
Yeah.
There's no ya here.
Okay.
It is actually from the fourth category, which is la, how do you say it? La nafiyatun liljins. La nafiyatun liljins means when you absolutely, categorically deny something and say, you're not just saying, for example, there is no God except Allah. You are saying there's absolutely no possibility whatsoever of any God at all except Allah.
Okay.
So it's a very, very strong way of saying no.
No.
Now, to do that in Arabic, you do two things to the word. The whatever word you want to deny so strongly, you do two things to it. You make it nasb and you make it light.
Okay.
How will you remember to make it nasb and make it light? Just remember the review of la nafiyatun lil jins is what statement? La ilaha illallah.
Okay.
It's the biggest, most powerful example of la nafiyatun lil jins. So long as you remember that, you'll remember the rule. Now, what are the two things you have to do to an ism to make it absolutely denied? To make it part of la nafiyatun lil jins?
Has to be light.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Look at its status.
has to be nasab.
It has to be mansoob. Okay?
Mansoob.
Has to be mansoob. Okay. So now I've given you 4 reasons. I'm going to walk you through them again, then you'll walk me through them so I know you got it.
Okay.
The first one is partly flexible. The second one is mudaf.
Mm-hmm.
The third one is the one being called.
Mm-hmm.
And the fourth one is la nafiyatun lil jins. You're going to give me all 4. You're going to give me an example of each.
Okay, first is partly flexible,
Mm-hmm.
like Medina.
No, Medina is not. Medina is a word, not a name.
Okay, Yathrib.
Okay, Yathrib.
And the second one is a mudaf,
Mm-hmm.
like Sayyara.
Sayyara by itself is not a mudaf.
Okay.
To have a mudaf, you have to have a...
Mudaf ilay.
So,
Sayyarati.
okay.
Okay, Sayyarati. And then third one is when you're calling someone, like Ya bint.
Ya bint.
Yeah.
Ya bin.
Ya bintu.
Ya bintu. Good.
Okay. And the fourth one is the nafiyatun lil jins.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be light and it has to be nasab.
Light and mansoob.
Mansoob.
Following what word? La.
La.
Comes after la,
Mm-hmm.
and it's light and mansoob. And what's the point of la nafiya lil jins? What's the purpose of doing that?
It's to say absolutely not.
It's to say absolutely not. Very good. Now give me all 4 again without examples. Just a quick list.
Okay. Partly flexible, mudaf, when you're calling someone, and then nafiyatun lil jins.
And these are the 4 things that are... These are the 4 kinds of ism that are...
Light?
That's right. These are the 4 kinds of ism that are light. Are you clear about that now?
Yes.
Solid. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.